Hello, everyone, and welcome to the. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be the June episode of.
No, it's May.
Well, it's May as we're recording this, but I don't know when Mike's gonna put this out. So
I'll put it up as soon as it's ready. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Then I guess it'll be the May movie club.
Mm-hmm.
And for this movie club, we watched sequels to prominent action franchises.
Hold up. Time. Did you just call prominent action franchise? Is that the term you just used?
Yeah.
What?
What? You don't think John Wick's a...
No.
Excuse me. You don't think John Wick is a prominent action franchise?
The John Wick's not the thing I have an issue with.
Well, then what do you have an issue with?
Don't know. The children, maybe?
I mean, okay, maybe not a prominent action franchise for adults, but dude, Cody Banks was, the kids' version of, a James Bond, so...
No, the kids' version of a James Bond was... Is it You Can't Catch Me Now, or whatever was that one?
Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah, Catch Me If You Can.
That is not a kids' movie.
Not Catch Me If You Can. God, I can picture it. It's all about, he stole, race car stuff.
Huh?
I'm trying to... You Can't Catch Me? I'm trying to think of this name. There's this film, I could picture it. There was a kid's version that argues a better version of a James Bond film than Agent Cody Banks. But continue.
But yeah, so we had a movie based around a camp counselor, and we had a movie based around a guy that loved shoving knives into people's eyes. Which I'll say, that first 20 minutes of John Wick 3.
Okay, that was good. That, the fights in, the library and stuff?
Yeah, the library fight, and then the first fight as the contract goes live.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
So I guess this is spoiler warning for John Wick 3 if you haven't seen it, because John Wick is one of my favorite franchises.
Which is interesting.
How?
That you liked it so... I think it's bad, it's just fascinating me, that's your moment of favorites.
Well, I mean, there's franchises that I watch because I've watched so many of them, so I'm just invested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the Fast and Furious franchise at this point. I will say I laughed during John Wick 3 because I'm like, there's no way. No, they actually did that. Just the ridiculousness of the action in the movie. It was just...
I have one.
The multiple throwing knives to dudes and then realizing he doesn't have anything, so pulling a knife out of the guy's back and chucking it at a dude.
There was something cool about them being in that, knife kind of place, and it was okay. Pop, 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 pop.
I will say, though, I was kind of surprised that 3 didn't really have a soundtrack.
Yeah, there was that one... The only thing I can think of that music mattered was, when they did the opera music towards the end of those fights.
Yeah. Well, and, 1 and 2, I can think of multiple scenes with songs from them.
Mm-hmm.
And it just added to it. But I'm going to say I liked... As I'm looking back on it, I think I liked their decision to go without music because it definitely added to the tone of the movie itself, which is just darker in general.
Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to think where to begin. So So one of the things I think we kind of talked about too is in the beginning, I was a little confused on what the fuck was going on.
Well, what they don't necessarily explain is that the 3 John Wick movies take place over like 2 weeks.
Which I caught onto that, and I was like, wait a second, what?
And if you hadn't seen John Wick 2 recently, I think that's lost even more because it was like 2 years, I think, between
Yeah.
movies. So if you weren't like if you didn't know the plot line of chapter 2 towards the end, then it does explain it, but you're kind of lost at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because it picks up literally at the end of 2. So I'm definitely gonna wait and see if somebody decides to put out a 6-hour John Wick where they just edit them together and just make it one continuous
Just a movie?
one movie. Because I think, like, I don't know, have you ever heard of the I believe it's Topher Grace that does it or did it?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The Star Wars movie that apparently is out there, where like he edited together the prequel into one like 2-hour movie, I think or 2.5-hour movie, and it covers everything. There's that. I'm interested. I want to find a reliable source of getting it.
Okay.
Because I know it's going to be on like the Pirate Bay or something like that, but and there's no way he could sell it. Like,
Right.
the legal ramifications of him trying to sell that are incredible. And then somebody else put one together. No, Steven Soderbergh did something like that, but I can't remember for what.
Oh, Soderbergh.
And then there's the Machete order of watching Star Wars.
Which is so weird. I think Avengers is trying to do that too now.
Well, and the weird thing about the Machete order is it doesn't take into account 7, 8, and eventually 9.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see somebody kind of... Which those kind of stand on their own, so I'm sure it would just be... You pick up from 6 and go straight into 7. Because they don't necessarily do the... It's an entirely different story.
Yeah, because like they're connected, but like they're the back half. It's not like where would you put them?
Which I will say, first off, AMC needs to cut the shit with their trailers.
You mean at the end where it goes the date?
No, it was a half hour of trailers before John Wick.
Oh yeah, that was a long time. I was very much like that feels.
Oh, so it was that long for you too?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm guessing you saw it, AMC.
Yeah, because I have the AMC A-list.
Yeah. And then I don't mind the dates thing because like some of the trailers didn't have specific
I don't like
dates.
for what I don't like that just because it pulls me off like of the trailer. I understand marketing why you do it. I just don't like it because like it pulls me out of like the trailer thing of like what am I doing. So I was just thinking because like part of like where I enjoy trailers like it was like pop into the movie and I feel like it's kind of like it's always jarring of like dramatic trailer date. Dramatic trailer date. And
Yeah, I will say like with the It Chapter 2 trailer.
right, and then if you didn't have like we know when the next trailer begins, but like if you didn't stop at that date, it would have. I feel like it would have been this like, poof, better punch.
Yeah.
That It Chapter 2 trailer, I didn't realize what it was at first. By the way, super.
Oh,
that
no,
was a
dude,
good trailer.
That was, yeah.
Because I
Well,
wasn't.
and
I
I
was
haven't-
like, what movie is? What the fuck? Because I saw her, I was like, huh?
Yeah, I haven't seen the new It.
But also, I forgot how good that cast list they got is.
Oh, dude, incredible. What else was there? Oh, that's the first time I've actually seen the Star Wars trailer.
Oh,
Speaking
yeah,
of Star
I didn't
Wars.
have the Star Wars trailer.
It may have been the last one
I
that I had.
didn't
Yeah, that's the
have-
first time I'd seen Rise of Skywalker trailer.
It's a good trailer.
Interesting trailer.
I like the end as the voice.
That's totally just a fan service thing. Like,
Oh, it is. But it's still kind of like a good, like, how are we closing this? Like,
yeah.
no one ever dies. And it's ironic because the dead guy saying it.
Yeah. Well, and I'm gonna obviously I'll see Star Wars more out of the zeitgeist than actually wanting to see it, but I want to see how they explain what her whole like.
Power is?
Well, no, her standing there like, oh yeah, I'm gonna run and jump like.
Oh, yeah.
Like what? Are you trying to cut his fighter in half? Like, it doesn't make sense. But what other trailer was there? There's that one. There's It Chapter 2. Oh, did you have that? I think it's Anna.
Yeah, that was so fucking weird.
Which is like, I thought it was an odd choice of a trailer.
Before John... Okay, before
Yeah,
John
considering
Wick,
it's supposed
it's
to be
the
before
audience,
John Wick.
though. I'm okay at the audience, but it's still, like... You know what it reminded me of? What was the Jennifer Lawrence movie from last year that reminded me of that?
Red Sparrow.
Yes. It felt the same vibes to me.
And the weird thing is, there's the Amazon show Hannah, which
is
is
based
a
off that
show
movie.
based on a
Movie, also.
The
and a
movie's
book.
based on a book, but
Yeah.
yeah, the show's based on the book itself, not the movie. Which the movie was actually pretty good. From what I remember. But yeah, it's just like, I get why they're showing it because it's the
Their
audience,
audience.
but it's just like, okay, like,
The Chucky,
calm
the Child's
down.
Play was a pretty good trailer also, by the way.
oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't know what it was at first.
Right?
And then
Then you
they
see him and you...
then they showed the doll. I'm like, okay. Well, at first, I'm thinking to myself, okay, is this the Jigsaw movie? Because they showed the TV,
Right.
the old school TV. So I'm like, I remember them saying they were going to do a Jigsaw movie.
Mm-hmm.
So is that this? And then, yeah, then they show Chucky. I'm like, okay. Now it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny though, the guy sitting next to me was not a fan of the horror trailers. I'll put it to you
There's
that way.
so many of them.
Yeah.
Why was there so many?
Oh, that's the thing now. They're cheap to make and they make a shit ton of money.
I
so.
know they're cheap to make, but, like, they don't look good.
Although I will say, I bet it is an expensive movie to make.
Really?
Well, just, I mean,
cast.
Cast, effects. Like, you've got, I think, it's not Bill, it's Alex's brother, Alex Skarsgård's brother, playing Pennywise. He's not cheap. You've got Cumberbatch not Cumberbatch, what's his face from X-Men? Who's in it? James McAvoy.
Yeah.
He's in it. Bill Hader's in it.
Again, that's such a strong fucking cast.
Yeah,
Redhead girl.
sure.
Yeah, she's the one I opened it with. But yeah, for sure, that opening thing.
What's her face? She's in
Everything.
Zero Dark 30.
Yeah.
Jessica Chastain.
Yeah. But again, when it opened with her, I for sure did not process that was it.
Well, I heard one of the podcasts I was listening to, they talk about the trailer, and they're like, yeah, they just showed like a straight up scene from the movie. That's totally what that was. It wasn't a trailer. That was,
Yeah, actually,
that's going to be a scene from the movie, and then it gets into the trailer.
because it's all about her coming home after leaving. Yeah.
I will say, though, I didn't watch a ton of that trailer because I was looking at my phone and checking in with messages, seeing as how that was about 24 minutes into the trailers. And I'm like, well, if there's going to be more trailers, I'm going to answer a couple emails and
Yeah, there's so
Stuff like that.
freaking many. And
But
again,
then
most of the movies
once
were
the movie
bad.
got started, it was a great movie.
So that was opening. I'm trying to think what was the cool thing. I feel like, I know you disagree with me. That final fight, which eventually ends with him facing whatever that Asian guy was. I feel like
Oh,
that
so
scene.
apparently that guy's name was Zero.
When did they say that?
You know how I found that out?
How?
The captions on the trailer that was a promoted ad on Twitter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But in general, I feel like that fight scene was too long. Also, he's a little weird. He was just a little weird.
He was a little weird. He's definitely the weirdest of the villains of the John Wick series. Because for 2 it was Ruby Rose and she was the mute. And then in the first one it was Bill Skarsgård. Right?
Yeah.
There's no real, for lack of a better term, boss battle at the end of the first one.
Which I don't know. I'm still of the mind I don't know if it needed one.
Yeah, the first one is a perfect movie in terms of pacing.
Like this I feel like I think you might agree with me. This movie's pacing gets weird at points. So like, because to me, what I wanted this movie to be when I started going was, I was hoping it would be like the opening fight scene, not the opening, the one you had the knife fight scene, but like with different gangs coming by every like 10 minutes. I was hoping it was kind of going to become.
Yeah. Well, and I think one of the things that made it feel a little off was it not having a soundtrack.
Okay.
Because like, if you think about Chapter 2 and even the first one, like, there's the music behind kind of the transitional scenes. And then there was nothing for the transitional scene. So they felt like they kind of dragged on. Which is weird to say because the movie didn't feel like it dragged on.
It felt like scenes did. Yeah, I don't know if the movie did as much as scenes.
Yeah.
Also, they ramped up that villain way too much for John Wick to kind of wipe him.
Zero?
Yeah. Introducing Zero was cool. I think that was a cool introduction, but I think even, like, think about it. They went through the motorcycle chase, they went through, like, him outsmarting him, like, watching him, like...
That, when he gets on the horse, and that scene in that whole fight through the horse barn and all that,
Yeah.
because that follows pretty soon after the knife fight. I was just in constant cringe, not for the awkwardness, but for the pain of like, oh, like, dude just got stomped by a horse. Like, the shot, though, of him riding down the street with the 2 gang guys on the bike behind him
That was cool.
is a really cool shot. He looked like the horseman of the apocalypse. But yeah, then they eventually get into John Wick isn't his real name. He's Bulgarian, I guess. Which that was
a weird...
That was a weird scene because they never really explained it before. I will say, though, that setting set up that amazing shot of Zero and his crew walking onto the stage during the rehearsal.
That was a cool, like, she knew what was coming.
Yeah. Which is the only time they really have any sort of music is in that...
And that was
during
the
ballet.
So also, to me, it felt like she should have been killed. And that, not the fucking hand sword thing.
Well, we'll get to that later, but... Yeah.
Like, when I thought you killed Lawrence Fishburne, it made sense in my head.
Well, yeah, that was the thing, right, of... It was, his punishment was 7 cuts.
And it just killed him because it was so hard.
Her punishment was through the hands because she gave him passage. Like, if you think about their punishment, it starts to make sense. Like, okay, you're not gonna... Like, she didn't give him the ability to kill somebody directly, whereas Fishburne did.
And to be fair, they do tease this with the whole doctor thing of how if the doctor helps him, he would have been killed. Like, they explain this.
Yeah.
Because he would have saved his life, so then he would get killed for it, for example.
Yeah.
Which at least they explain that part of it, but I don't think it's really catchable in the sense of you expect that to matter in the same way, besides to the doctor.
I will say though, John Wick is the series is the best at. They mention something once, and then you're expected to remember it because it is going to come up. Like, if they ever reference something, it is going to come up.
So I have a question. What do you think of all of the scenes, like, when he was in Casablanca? Because that's, to me, I feel like when the movie got into a weird moment of, like, this feels like a different film.
The whole idea that you were billing Halle Berry in this movie,
Yeah.
and then she exists for 20 minutes, is kind of weird. But, I mean, obviously the visual, right, of Casablanca is really cool. And the idea that it is... He's going to the origin of the high table.
But it's still weird to me, because I feel like getting there and doing it felt off. Like, it feels like a different film to me. That to me felt like the second chapter, not of a film, but of a franchise.
It was a little weird. It was a little weird, but it was also a really good... Like, I think if the entire movie was just one giant fight scene, it would have been tough to follow. Or it would have been exhausting, I guess is the better word for it. Whereas with this downtime, when he goes to Casablanca and then meets the Elder, which, by the way, the Elder looks to be younger than he is. You know, that helps, you know, kind of bring your adrenaline back down and get you ready for the final fight. Which, that final assault on the Continental is really cool. And just the payoff of the doorman being this, you know, badass merc too. Like,
yeah, the doorman being shit was cool.
And yeah, I was kind of surprised that Wick didn't kill the adjudicator.
See, that was weird. To me, the adjudicator, yeah, it felt like she needed to die. Even if the rest of the high table didn't, she, like...
Yeah, I figured that was what they were building up to.
I figured that too. What I figured it was gonna be is like, obviously when he betrayed John Wick, I figured she would call saying it's now enshrined again, and then after she hangs up, he would shoot her or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think the guy that runs the Continental, I don't know his name. I think they mentioned it in the first one, but I know Winston is one of the people. Because they mentioned that name a couple times. He is the guy that runs the Continental is very rules focused.
Right.
So since the hotel was reinstated, he wasn't going to break the rules and carry out business. Yeah. Right.
There was something funny about the moment it got, like, removed from the list, how quickly everyone left. Like, I did, like, the exodus of everyone checking, like, everyone going to the desk of checking out. It was pretty funny.
Well, and then when Zero is chasing John Wick, and Wick gets his hand onto the stairs.
Yeah.
And the doorman comes out.
He's like, no business here. I was like, what?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and then obviously the end where he should have died, and like a lot of the fight stuff, I can suspend disbelief of him just like taking a beating, and he should have been dead probably 5 times over. But then his fall and hitting the stairs on the way down and just landing on the ground. And then, you know, where's his body? You know, the adjudicator says he's gone.
But like the issue was like all of us were like, yeah, of course that was gonna happen.
I was like, okay, like that would have been a perfect send off for
Like,
Wick to die at the hands of
yeah.
the guy that runs the Continental. And, after he really had completed, I mean, he didn't fully complete his mission, but, to him, he completed his mission.
Mm-hmm.
And then for him to die there would have been a perfect send off. But then, yeah, you bring back Lawrence Fishburne. He didn't
So obviously
die.
there's another movie, even if we knew
Yeah.
it, like there's obviously.
Which will be interesting to see how they handle. Will there be a passage of time? Because, like, if you're going to try to sell me that he goes straight from falling off the Flatiron building and hitting a fire escape a couple times on the way down to basically getting right back up and being John Wick, like, no.
But who grabbed? So does that mean? So based on our logic, then John Wick didn't get up. Someone grabbed him.
Yeah, it was the only way I know how to describe him is he was the crazy guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he was the one, he did the TikTok, Mr. Wick, after the library. He was the one that brought him in the cart.
Mm-hmm.
So, they definitely, obviously, made amends, I guess. Fishburne made amends with Wick. I guess, because he was... They don't really touch on if he is part of the High Table or
Yeah,
what.
that was weird.
Like, it's understandable. Okay, the Continental is under the table. The crime families are part of the table.
But like
And then
they're
there's the
low
elder
grade.
above the table. Yeah. And he's just kind of on the side, and it's like, okay, why is the adjudicator coming to him if he's not part of the table?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he is, and they didn't really describe it. But yeah.
So as a whole, since you're a bigger fan, where do you think this stacks in the franchise?
It's difficult because the feel is so different.
Mm-hmm.
The first one to me is still a great movie. It's a fun movie to watch. I say it's a fun movie, it's not necessarily a great movie. It's a fun movie. The second one has the best soundtrack. And then the third one has the best action scenes.
Okay.
So, if you're a fan of action movies, the third is going to be your favorite. To me, they're all kind of at the same. Like, they're not necessarily... One's not necessarily better than two, and three isn't necessarily better than one,
Mm-hmm.
I will say, though, the internet is in an uproar because Dave Lang has officially changed the movie ratings.
Yeah, that is the best thing I retweeted that. That made my day. 'Cause I saw it right before I saw John Wick. I was like, okay.
I think I saw that as I left the theater.
So explain. So it used to be his rating was what?
His rating used to be out of 5 Raid 2s.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you've never seen the Raid series, I think there's only 2 of them. There might be a third one now. They're Korean action movies. And they're some of the coolest action movies out there. There's some behind-the-scenes footage that is incredible to see. So, no movie could ever get a 5 out of 5. Even the Raid 2 wasn't a 5 out of 5. The best any movie could ever get was a 4 out of 5 of the Raid 2s. And Dave Lang just tweeted out the Raid 2 is 4 out of 5 John Wick 3s. Which makes you believe that John Wick 3 is now his favorite movie.
Mm-hmm.
which is hilarious to think about. Just this overly boisterous guy just creating a movie scale based on a Korean movie that not a lot of people in the States have seen, and then completely appeases it with his rating scale switching to a movie that apparently everybody saw because it knocked off Avengers.
Did it officially? I actually didn't look at that.
Yeah.
My God. Which
It's the number one for this weekend.
Pikachu couldn't even do it.
Yeah, but let's be real. Like, the audience for Wick is obviously way different than the audience for Avengers. There's a lot of crossover because there's a lot of parents going to see Avengers that are going to see John Wick. And they maybe not... There were... I'm going to guess, right, that the adult audience for Pikachu probably crosses over pretty good with the audience of John Wick.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. Because if you think about it, right, like the people that are 20 to 35 grew up with Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to go see it because it's their childhood. But they're maybe not necessarily going to bring their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because their kids don't care. So, yeah. In fact, my my one neighbor was talking about his son is 11 now. 12. 11. His daughter's 13. And his son brought up The Matrix. And he wondered what The Matrix was. And so I'm like, man, that's going to be a tough movie for him to watch because so much of it revolves around the tech of the 90s.
It's that, but so much of it is just ingrained in pop culture where he feel like it's ripping something off, even though it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, it's just the idea of, you know, landline, like, Ethernet ports and landline computers and, you know, stuff like that. Like, you know, he's a kid of the 21st century. Like, he was basically born with an iPad in his hands, you know. So is he going to understand the idea behind the Matrix? And I told him it'll be interesting to see, but
It's still a good movie. I think it still actually surprisingly holds up considering how dated it should be.
I'll tell you what though, the filter on it does not hold up. That green filter. Oh.
Okay, that doesn't. But I meant like an actual like plot, isn't it? Like it's still surprising. Like it shouldn't be as well as it is.
The plot of that movie holds up, and in fact, the bullet time holds up. Some of the SFX don't hold up, but
I don't know if I expected to. Maybe that's why it didn't bug me so much. I expected all of it to act like that, not just part of it.
Well, and the fact that the bullet time, at least the movement, wasn't a special effect. It's photos. Photos res up really well.
Right.
So,
if they're real smart, it would have just been vector art. That would have been perfect. Could you imagine?
I can.
Human.
I mean, I can imagine, but
we'll just remake it, but we'll just use vector art to future-proof it.
yeah, dude.
Because vector art,
Lines scale up really well.
because that's the only vector. The reason you use vector art is because it scales.
Yeah.
I took a class in Adobe Illustrator. I understand vector art. Took one class in it in college.
You think you understand vector art?
What's the old saying? Like a lot. It's something along the lines of like some knowledge is the most dangerous thing you give a man.
Or is it the idea that a man knows something is the most dangerous thing in the world?
Yeah, but it's something along those lines.
It's something that if they think they know what's going on,
it's more
the most
dangerous.
Yeah.
I think I know vector art. We could do it.
I'll tell you what. Go ahead and do what I did for our logo.
Okay.
Our new logo. Because I'll tell you this, it's not vector art.
Wait, what?
Nope.
Oh no. But it's not going to scale.
No, it'll scale.
Because Because it's relatively simple. Not bad simple, but like...
Well, it's a font-based art. Mm-hmm. So it's
Inherently
going to
scales.
scale fine, yeah. It scales fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's time for us to take a break, and we'll come back and talk about that kid movie.
Yeah.
We'll come back and we'll talk about Spy Kids. Okay.
All right, everyone, we are back, and it is time to... I was going to say start talking about Cody Banks, but I'm about to sneeze, so...
So we'll start talking about...
All right, we're good. Yeah, let's talk about Cody Banks until I sneeze my brains out.
How do you want to start this?
Um...
Can we talk about the Brits?
Yeah, we can talk about the Brits.
Do you know who my most annoying person in this film was for me?
Anthony Anderson?
Who's that? And I can tell you if
The black guy.
No, actually. Who is the handler of not Hilary Duff? The old man.
The old man.
The butler?
Oh, yeah.
And do you remember he was our handler secretly?
Yeah. I don't know his name, but yeah.
God. So I have a legitimate question as we go into this. How do they take something so this movie is where I was scared the first movie was gonna be. To start there. Because how do they take something like the first movie that surprisingly worked and then reverted it?
Well, I will say, I think what they did in the first movie was played on the sex appeal of Cody's handler.
Okay. But I mean,
which is extremely obvious. And then the second one is like, okay, we're trying to make it like, let's be real here. We're actually talking about what's going on.
But like, it's even little things like the British humor was like real, like stereotypical to the point where it wasn't funny.
Oh yeah, this movie was extremely stereotypical, but I mean, what did you expect out of a movie that's supposed to be for 12-year-old kids?
More of the first movie I would have been okay with.
The first movie is designed for those kids' parents. Specifically the dads.
Specifically the dads.
Yeah.
But this movie, like, the villain's plan felt just too easily, like, it was implemented way too easily. Like,
yeah, I will say I like that they actually... Like, because the first one, they never really show the nanobots doing anything.
right.
Except at the very end. Whereas this one, they actually show the mind control work.
But can we appreciate how easily it was for, on a fucking tour bus, he was being a dentist?
Well, I mean, he didn't have to be super specific about it. He just needed to drill into the tooth and then pop the thing in.
But I just meant, like, even implementing, like, how he got every world leader under his skin in what looked like 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that was obviously just stupid, but...
Like, that's what, like, little stuff like that to me felt, like, too quick.
Yeah.
So it's not like...
I will say, the fact, though, that they
short.
played, like, okay, it's the, you know, they had a reason for the leaders to be there.
Which at least they gave us a reason, which I was okay with.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, some meeting. Like, I was like, okay, that's clever, but...
And I mean, it's not hard to come up with, oh yeah, we're going to have the G8, or whatever they called it.
Mm-hmm. Which is a real thing, I just remember the term.
Yeah.
They didn't make something stupid up, yeah.
Well, yeah, they didn't make something stupid up, like... The implementation of what they were doing kind of made sense. And, you know, you could, in theory, see them being able to get somebody, knock them out. If we're using Hollywood timetables, knock them out, drill their tooth out, pop the thing in, smack it in there, and then they're back and ready to go within 10 minutes.
Right, but the issue is, how'd you get every world leader? Like it felt like an absurd amount of that people at that party at the end were under his control. An absurd amount.
Yeah. Like, I want to see the Hitman-esque, like, knocking the bodies out and dragging them into...
like you wanted it to be like
areas.
if Cody Banks was if Cody Banks' handler was dragging it, where it'd be like this comical thing of like they're like standing on top of a person, kind of, or like they're under a carpet.
Yeah. Yeah, they never do explain, like, how did they get these leaders?
Right, how do you get them like that? Because they, like, how do you get them to them and then they convince their handlers to, like, let them go alone? Like, there's so much of that that's not explained.
They do at least try to explain the president.
The president one, wait, but the point is still, though, like, you didn't explain any of the other, like, if you at least, each leader, you kind of did a montage of doing that, I would have almost accepted it more.
Yeah. Well, this movie is definitely a suspension of disbelief movie. Like, it is the Fast and Furious in that once you start asking questions, you just never stop asking questions.
So...
Oh, that was another one of the trailers in front of John Wick, was the Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, I had that too, actually. It looked decent. I also had Men in Black.
I had that one as well. That... Dude, that stupid sequence that they're gonna have in Hawaii with Roman Reigns throwing two chains onto the front of the one-tow truck,
That's gonna be so fucking cool.
and then The Rock holding on to the chain and pulling a helicopter down because he's got massive biceps.
Dude, but did you see what The Rock looked like in that thing? I don't know if he's fucking human anymore.
I mean, I'm sure his testosterone levels aren't human, but
Like that, like those arms were fucking massive.
yeah. Well, have you ever heard the interviews that Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans did after one of the Avengers?
No.
They were
Right.
just like, because they had obviously they had to get into super shape to
Right.
do the movies, and then they're like, that's impossible to keep up. Like, you get into that shape for the movie, and then like 3 weeks later, you're back to your regular routine of McDonald's and ice cream, and you know, you start to lose some of that definition. But obviously, once you have that muscle mass, then it's a little easier to keep. Excuse me, because the way the human body works, muscle burns more calories than fat. So once they got into shape,
You had to eat more and more.
it's a little easier to stay. It's easier to stay in shape than get into shape.
Okay.
Because if you get jacked like they did, and then go back to a 2,500 calorie, daily intake, you're going to be at a decent calorie deficit. Just because your body requires more energy to keep that muscle mass.
Right.
So, yeah, they just talk about how tough it is on their bodies to do that. And obviously you see The Rock and it's like, okay, dude, we get it.
You big.
You're big. Like, I don't even care anymore. Like,
But he's fucking, like, there are moments I'm like, it's The Rock, like, during that scene, you're like, what the fuck?
Like, this is the second or third time I can think of where they've shown him and he has apparently been strong enough to, like, hold down a helicopter. Or what was the one that he did? where he basically did the biblical Samson and held like the crane to the, was it skyscraper where he pulled
Yeah,
the,
skyscrapers what you're thinking of.
he did something like that, and it's like, okay, dude, we get it. Like, you're obviously gonna have a scene in there where you're, it's just to show off your biceps.
Because let's be honest, Fast Furious is probably like, we paid $10 million for those muscles, we're gonna goddamn use them.
Yeah. Well, they don't care. They're gonna make a shit ton of money.
But like as a whole though, like, you know, they paid him to be in extra shape.
Yeah. Oh, what's the one that's by F. Gary Gray? Was that Men in Black? One of the trailers was by, the movie's going to be by F. Gary Gray, who was the director of a couple of the Fast and Furious movies.
No, that was Men in Black. That was Men in Black.
Okay.
Which, Men in Black, I think it looks good, but I'm not sure. It's only because it's Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth, I'm giving it more of a benefit of a doubt.
Yeah.
Because, like, Tessa Thompson is fucking great.
Is this the first non-Marvel movie
No.
where they've had two,
Oh.
like, the... Tessa's not a lead.
But she's quickly become a solid B team.
Yeah.
She's like Falcon level.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
I'm trying to think of other movies since the MCU started that had...
Because Chris Evans and ScarJo used to be in stuff together, but that was back when it was like pre.
Yeah.
Um.
And ScarJo did Under the Skin during the MCU.
Has Jeremy Renner done anything with any of the random people?
I have no idea.
Or like, ooh, he's a good.
He doesn't do a lot of stuff anymore.
He's a
like,
good. Oh no, that would have been before. Because I say a good random one was in the Sherlock Holmes movie. Jude Law was Watson, and obviously RGJ was Sherlock.
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner does a lot of random stuff.
Yeah, but not a lot of big stuff. Like, he does a lot of random stuff.
Wasn't he a Mission Impossible?
He did The Hurt Locker.
But I thought you did Mission Impossible.
Simon Pegg was in Mission Impossible.
Am I crazy?
No, he did the Bourne Legacy. I think that's what you're thinking of. I don't think he was in Mission Impossible.
He was in Mission Impossible. I thought he was in the not Fallout. I thought he was in the ones before it.
Mission Impossible.
So like Rogue Nation, I thought.
Phil Sears Wikipedia. Let's go down to casting characters. Tom Cruise, Ving Rhames. Man, Ving Rhames.
Mission Impossible. He's in Rogue Nation. I was right. Jeremy Renner was in Rogue Nation.
And the one before it.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost Protocol.
That's what I was like. I'm like, I swear.
Oh, I'm not saying he's not doing stuff. It's just that he does a lot of random stuff. Like,
but also like, yeah, he probably doesn't.
He also doesn't do a lot of big stuff. Like, this
I
is.
wonder if Paul Rudd is with someone random.
Paul Rudd just does a bunch of comedy.
That's true.
I'm also not a huge fan.
He has his moments. He's good.
That's debatable.
Also, okay, Paul Rudd, he's one of those men in Hollywood also who does not age. I'm just saying.
He's 69, April 6th, 69. So he's
51.
50. He's 50.
But look at stuff of him from like 15 years ago. You'd have thought he looks the same age. It's like Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves does not look like he's in his 50s.
Keanu Reeves has opposite aged. He's done the Benjamin Button.
He has done the Benjamin, because he has.
Let's see. When was the first Ant-Man?
2015. It was after.
2008 was Iron Man. He had Monsters. He was in This Is 40 and Mission. All is Bright. This is the end. Anchorman 2. Ant-Man. Okay, after that, he did the Wet Hot American Summer Netflix thing.
That was good.
He did The Fundamentals of Caring. He was in Sausage Party. Obviously Captain America. Then he did Nerdland. Fun Mom Dinner. Back for the Why Hot American Summer series. The Catcher Was a Spy. Ideal Home. Mute. Ant-Man. Avengers. Yeah, he's in a bunch of random. Like, he is. I'm not going to say more random than Jeremy Renner because Jeremy Renner has some. Jeremy Renner. Renner. Let's see. He did starting with The Hurt Locker. Then he was in Thor. Then Ghost Protocol. Then Avengers, then Born Legacy, then Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters, then The Immigrant, then American Hustle, which is a great movie.
American Hustle is not a great movie.
When you take into consideration it was shot in 38 days, it's a great movie.
Okay, but I still know.
It doesn't hold up as a great in the sense of like
actual great.
It's an accomplishment, I should say. Kill the Messenger. He was on a couple episodes of Louis, Ultron, Rogue Nation, Civil War, Arrival, Wind River, The House, Tag, Stupid, Endgame, Hawkeye TV series, which is announced. And he was in The Town.
The Town?
The Town. He's really good in that. Yeah.
Nice.
He was also in The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, which may be the longest title in Hollywood. Yeah. We've totally derailed from Cody Banks because it was that much
Cody
of a
Banks
meh.
is not the worst movie we've seen. It's the most meh movie we've seen.
It is the perfect embodiment of like a 5.5 out of 10.
Cody Banks 2 is 100% what we thought Cody Banks 1 was going to be going in.
Yes.
I think that's the best quote to give it.
Yeah.
Because Cody Banks 1 is a surprisingly good film.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
So yeah. So I think that's probably going to do it for us. Just so you guys know, going into this next month, I'm moving and AJ's traveling a lot. So what's going to happen is this is posting like normal at the end, a little bit later, but still the end of May. And then instead of us doing probably a full-blown episode until probably the next movie club, we're going to do like an interstitial kind of like interview show of some past interviews we shot a while ago. And we'll, at the end of those interviews, either me or AJ will pop in and be like, hey, here's our movies for the next one so you guys know going in.
Yep.
That way we'll still be good for that.
Yeah.
Nice. Because I gotta keep packing, because I move in 10 days.
From when we're recording this.
Yes. I still don't got a place yet, but...
You don't have a place yet? Is that what you said?
I'm going to... Tomorrow morning I have a flight to Florida, and we're staying down there till Thursday to hopefully find me a place. This is the plan.
That's an interesting plan.
Well, I'm on a short timeline, so I have to do... That's the best way to do it, probably. I can find a place in a week. That's not the end of the world hard.
No.
Because all I need is a one-bedroom. I don't need some, like, obscure, like, weird...
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. You don't need some weird, like, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, like...
Right, I need a one-bedroom. Here's my rough budget. I bet I can find a place in said budget. Like, it's all I need.
Yeah, you just need a studio is what you need. You don't even need a...
I know, but I am a type of person who likes the ability of, like, a one-bedroom, logistically. Because little stuff like, then I could walk away from doing work, where, like, in a studio, I feel like I can't do that.
Yeah.
Because in a studio, I'm always staring at, like, my computer, so I'm be like, I could be working, well, like, I could walk, expressly away from stuff. Also, it's always weird to me when you walk in someone's house and there's just a bed chilling there.
Yeah.
That's just me. Yeah, remember you could follow us on Twitter. I'm at Mikey_Maroney. AJ is at Detroit, Michigan. The show is at the SWW show. Remember,
I would actually like if I could get the Twitter handle Detroit MI.
you should be like, at Detroit has less shootings than Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be okay with that one.
That is a true fact.
Which is weird, all things considered.
It's funny. Detroit is becoming a safer and safer city basically every day.
That's because you're shooting more and more people, so there's less to shoot.
No, it's because Google opened an office, Microsoft has an office, so there's a ton of money coming into the city.
So now they care.
So, yeah, everybody's driving out the people, and the cops are final. They have a reason to round up the illegal activity. So
Nice. So it's harder to get drugs, is what I understand. Got it.
no, it's not that hard.
Harder, I said.
It's still not that hard.
You're like, you're like, now I have to walk 2 houses instead of 1.
Well, it depends on where you are.
Maybe 3.
Depends on where you are and what time you're there.
2 a.m.
You can probably find anything under the sun. Well, I was gonna say in a relative ease, they might have to go back to house if you're looking for some
Bigger stuff.
designer drug. Yeah.
So pretend I was White Boy Rick for a second. Deep cut, right?
And what's he slinging? Crack or coke?
Crack. That was not cocaine money there. Because crack's cheap.
Yeah.
Coke is not.
Coke is a white person.
And the whole irony of the film was he was the only white person.
Easily, I don't know. Downtown might be a little hard. As you kind of head towards the north. Yeah, northwest side. That might be a little easier, but yeah, I mean like downtown, where the ice rink is. It's actually pretty clean around that immediate area.
Okay.
Greektown, there's definitely some areas in Greektown that are a little rough, but yeah, like the money's coming into that city so fast that it's pushing everybody out.
It's gentrifying, we'll say. Gentrification's happening?
Gentrification is happening at an alarming rate in Detroit.
I don't know if it's that alarming, but...
Well, it is for the city. Like, the city was not prepared for suddenly these companies to come in. And the companies came in because it was so cheap.
But again, it's not a bad thing, it's just... It's going to happen if you do that.
Yeah. Like, suddenly, Google's got to house... however many people work there. It's like 200 or 300 people work at that office, and you're housing, 300 families in the Detroit area. Like, that drives up housing prices pretty quick.
So I'm going to say the controversial thing for a second as we end the show. Unless you're SF, so it's at that extreme of right, gentrification is not inherently bad. The issue becomes just if you have where it's uncontrolled, like SF, where it's impossible to afford.
Gentrification isn't a bad thing.
It's when we let it go SF level of crazy.
Right. And as long as there are areas for the people that can't afford to still live, there's no problem with gentrification.
Because I think people act like it's blindly a bad thing. I'm like, it's not, though.
If anything, it improves the city, but then it starts to hurt the city once
it's improved.
Yeah, once it's improved and everybody's like, well, why isn't it like, why don't we have, a Whole Foods here instead of, the corner shop that's been there for 150 years?
That's when the problems come.
Yeah. Like, people bringing in money is not a bad thing.
Right.
It helps the city thrive. It's when people bring in the money, but they bring in so much
At a rapid rate that is not prepared for.
Yeah. And SF is hard because it's such a small city. Mm-hmm. Detroit being one of the largest by footprint cities
It,
in
in
the
theory,
U.S.
shouldn't be the same problem because you don't have
Right.
the space issue.
Yeah, but then it becomes, okay, the people that can't afford now have to, they have to move out of the city. Well, there's a lot of the city that isn't developed, so then they have to build. Well, building's expensive. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there's definitely some issues, but this isn't, the world's not perfect, so no matter what happens, there's never going to be, there's nothing that can happen to improve a city that doesn't hurt somebody.
But you don't understand, AJ. We only care about hurting the rich people here. That's what Twitter told me. Is the rich people aren't people?
Some of the rich people don't act like people. But
Twitter told me they're just all not people.
there's definitely wealthy people that I know that they don't spend a lot of wealth and they give a lot back, and it's all with what you do with your money.
That's not what I was told on Twitter.
Twitter's the watering hole of trying to think of how to phrase this. There's so much people left. It's the watering hole of the left and the center. And then the far right. Like, let's be real.
I love the way you're trying to say that nicely.
Like, well, if you think about it, right? Like, a lot of people on Twitter are, mid-20s to mid-40s. And a lot of them are somehow involved in a creative or technical field, at least the ones that we follow. And they tend to naturally lean left. And then you have the far right that are on Twitter that I don't follow any of them, but somehow they still show up in my feed. Thanks to Jim Ross, mainly.
Jim Ross probably, and probably Joe Rogan, but it's not.
I don't follow Joe Rogan. But if you follow Jim Ross, he does some creepy shit on Twitter. Like retweeting female wrestlers and then adding a comment of like, I don't know, like, you looked really great out, like just a weirdly worded, like pervy old dad comment. Mm-hmm. That maybe he shouldn't be making, but he does. But yeah,
Nice. So, on that note, remember, subscribe on iTunes, leave us good ratings, please to God, and we'll catch you guys next time.
we'll have an email eventually, so you can email the show questions.
I'm sorry, there's a lot of stuff going on in my life right now.
Yeah, well, that's why I said eventually. We also have
We have a lot of stuff in the pipeline.
we need to work on and finish up. So,
Yep.
but yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yep. Adios all.
See y'all.